Greetings, citizens. Today I would like to talk about information warfare. Recently, CIG dropped a design document on electronic warfare, within which we are given a quick rundown of the e-war systems that they are planning to implement in the persistent universe. However, there is more to it than just attacking ship systems and stealing data. For that, we need to talk about information warfare. Information warfare is the use and management of information and communication to gain an advantage over your opponent. This can be done through the distribution of false information, securing vital internal information, and attacking enemy information and communication systems, or as we would call it, electronic warfare. Just as with traditional warfare, there's both an attack and defense component in information warfare. The attack side includes e-war, data gathering, and false flag info, whereas the defense side would focus more around information security and the proper setup of your ships. Proper e-war isn't just about flying around hoping to find someone with something worthwhile, though that can work. It's more miss than hit. You have to know where and when to have your ships to catch comms in flight, or which ship is transporting that new jump point you're looking to grab. Before we dive much deeper into information warfare itself, I want to address passive combat e-war, which all basically happens before you even launch your ship. It's how you build the ship, which components you have selected, and how you have planned your flight. However, active combat e-war is what has many people excited or frustrated. Data spikes, jamming, EMP, taking over computers, and stealing data. These things are going to be done by a select few in very specialized ships, and in very limited engagements. Why? Simply because of the time and skill needed. Sure, in general combat, there will be EMP and distortion attacks, and there will be some data intercepts. But in a dogfight or slugging match, you're not going to want to be sitting there trying to hack a computer of a guy actively shooting you. No, the e-war ships will be sitting back from the main fight. They will be looking for command and control ships. They will be brought along when pirate hunting parties are going after big scores, or when combat fleets know what to expect on the other side. And this is where the rest of information warfare's attacking side comes into play. People will be watching systems, reading forum posts, and maybe even spying from the inside of other organizations to find when high-value targets will be moved. Then the e-war ships will come out to play. This leads us to the defensive side of information warfare. The U.S. Navy for a long time has used the saying that loose lips sink ships. Not because it's a nice rhyme, but because talking about where a ship is can and has led to the destruction of that ship. Understanding that everything you are doing, could be doing, or maybe even thought you could do, another organization is doing. Someone is reading your forum posts. Someone is reading your org's blog posts. They are reading posts on your organization's forums. They are probably even listening into your TeamSpeak chat. Is this to say that there is no point in trying to secure information, if we should always think that somebody else is reading everything already? No, it just means that we should always take into account what we are saying about things when you talk about them in places anyone can see. Did you find a new wormhole? Great. I wouldn't post about it on the RSI forums until you get the data back safely and register it. Not going to register it? Then I wouldn't post about it at all. Find a good mining spot in a rough part of space? I wouldn't talk about it too much unless you really want pirates to be sitting there waiting for you the next time you go out. Want to set a trap for some pirates that have been annoying you? Post about a sweet new mining spot you found. Just as keeping information you want safe, sending out false information, if done properly, will work as either an attack or a defense in the war of information. Okay, so what can we learn from the e-war post that is relevant to all of this? Actually, a lot. Setting up and outfitting your ship is going to be vitally important. From infrared to EM signatures that can be changed based on the parts, systems, and output levels for your ship, radar altering armor, and ID spoofing systems all can lead to better defensive measures. Properly setting up your ship could mean the difference between slipping through a group of pirates in an info runner, or loudly blaring, "I'm coming to get you," in an attack ship. It will also be vital to know where you are going to be operating. Flying in an area with heavy background EM readings, and you might be able to get by with a bit more power. Working near a sun, you might be able to run a bit hotter. However, the main thing we learned from this write-up is that this is not something that a single person will be able to handle while in the heat of a dogfight. Data spike missiles are nice, but are more for taking over a solo Hull A, or D, or E, rather than hacking into the systems of that cutlass that's currently trying to kill you. And that brings me to the final point I want to cover. Combat itself. At the point where you enter traditional combat, I-war or E-war basically go out the window. Yes, as I said earlier, a specialized E-war ship could sit at the periphery of an engagement and provide support. But for an unforeseen combat situation, E-war ships will have to fall back to traditional combat. Because when somebody is shooting at you, you have far more pressing concerns with traditional warfare than you do with the electronic kind.